Alright. My tummy hurts today as well, so I'm not gonna do anything. Except play video games. My coffee. Pour the coffee on the butter so it melts. Butter goes a lot better in coffee than tea though, so that's good. Hello, Robert. How's it going? What are you doing this weekend? Are you just working on the weekend? Butter in my coffee. Just woke up. Is that all you're doing this weekend? Just waking up? That's pretty much all I'm doing this weekend. So I get you. Oi! Alright, let's play this game from the beginning again. Dude. That kitchen is very hard to install, dude. You don't understand. I want the music to be higher today. Yeah, I restarted again. Mainly just because I got bored of the other shitty build I was playing yesterday. Maybe I should just raise it for me. I think it's the best ARPG on the market right now, but it all depends on what you want, right? Like, some people will play a game just for the story and the art. That's most people. That's why people play Diablo 4. It has nothing to do with the gameplay. It's why people play Assassin's Creed, it's why people play almost anything. And those people probably won't really like this game. But for people who do like ARPGs and like making character builds and stuff, there's just no other game that comes close. Unless you like the Path of Exile's passive tree. Still. And you like pressing one button, then Path of Exile is probably still superior. Vegeta turd here? How does this hold up to Path of Exile, my favorite ARPG? I think Path of Exile is garbage. So it depends on what you want out of an ARPG. I was just talking about that. It depends on what you want out of an ARPG. I don't really like much about PoE at all, but that's because I think I'm a lot more gameplay oriented than most people. And Path of Exile it's just like, let's be honest, it's just really stiff. Like you have like a movement ability and you've got your main ability. Like that's how you play PoE. But the reason I don't like PoE is because you can't experiment with builds. I don't think PoE is deep when it comes to builds at all. This game is 100 times more so, and that's why I like it. Because in PoE, the passive skill tree, it doesn't actually allow for more builds or anything like that. The passive skill tree is really just 100 different ways to get a functional normal character. But what it does in the meantime is it deletes like every single build that you can make that like tries to go outside of it. Because it's like you have to have a certain percentage of increased health. You need to have a certain, you know, amount of defensive nodes. You need to have this and you need to have that. And then you don't have that many points left. And those have to go into getting more damage. And then you have to choose something. You have to pick, I'm going to get axes. I'm going to have melee. I'm going to have two-handed. You know? And then you're playing a two-handed axe build. And then you pick whirlwind or cleave or something. And that's your build. But here, that's not how it works. Like, to some degree, you have passive trees here too. Like here, if you pick a Void Knight, obviously you only use Void skills. But even within this, you can... Well, you do get the increased melee Void damage, so okay. But if you want to, you can still play... you can still play a Void Knight as like a caster. Because you have Smite, which gives you... Well, it's a spell, so you can make it do void damage via the Void Knight tree here, and you can play like a pure caster, or you can play like mixed, and you can have certain other spell abilities combined with your attacks and stuff. But what makes this system so good, in my opinion, is that it's not about the passive skill tree so much. Like Grim Dawn, Titan Quest, those are all just passives, more or less. But here it's about the skills. So if I want to play this skill, Judgment, it's like a slam. You slam the ground and you get consecrated ground on the floor that does damage and heals you. But the consecrated ground is a spell, it does spell damage, and the slam does melee damage. So if you want both, you have to play with like a scepter. But otherwise, what you can do is you can spec into the skill here, and you can go down here, for example. Consecrated ground deals more damage. And you can go up here, consecrated ground deals damage in a larger area. You get 120% bigger area. Consecrated ground shreds armor, and then over here, consecrated ground pulls enemies, but the judgment deals no hit damage anymore. So now you have changed this ability from a melee attack with a spell component to only a spell. And you can go over here as well, and now here you don't do the consecrated ground anymore. But it does physical and fire penetration bonus, which is just bonus damage, and you don't get that anymore. And you can make it do all kinds of things. Up here, this was what I played last time. If you pick this, you can max this out, and then it nukes your entire mana pool. And for each mana that you spent, it gets more damage. So then you can use that in combination with like multi-strike or vengeance or rive, which are kind of basic attacks, but you can make those build mana. So then you can have this kind of like attacking to build mana and then dumping it to do a big nuke kind of gameplay if you want. Or you can make this, like, there are all kinds of paths like that. And for the other classes as well, there's so much you can do. And it's so nice, because a lot of these skills also have interactions with each other as well. Like if you play a Javelin build, yeah, I don't like... It's not map exploration at all. Until later a little bit, but it's not about exploring. Like there's nothing to find. It's just about killing monsters, getting gear, and trying to improve your character so you can go and kill bosses and stuff. So they're definitely not your kind of game. It's heavily about making builds too. But like this, I played this, and this was pretty fun. If you make a Javelin build, you can spec it in all kinds of different ways. Like in Diablo 2, you had the Amazon could throw javelins and they split into lightning bolts and stuff. You can do that if you want. But you can also make javelins rain from the sky when it casts. And I did that. I made javelins rain from the sky, and I just got as many of those as possible. And then with lunge, you can get... Over here, you can make it so that every single time you lunge, it automatically casts javelins. And same thing with Smite. You can spec into Smite in certain ways, and then you can make Multi-Strike can cast Smite for you. You know, you can do all kinds of things. So, yeah, this is the Soul Calibur soundtrack. The game soundtrack is it's honestly okay, but ARPG soundtracks are so boring because they don't have combat tracks. No, not at all. In PoE, it doesn't change the ability at all. Like it doesn't do anything almost. The most you can get that changes your ability is like you get spell on crit or something. But in the end, it's still very, very basic gameplay. Yeah, that is exactly, Robert. That's why it's so weird. Here you can, because this game is more about having multiple buttons. So you can have you can have like one skill that builds energy if you want, or builds mana, and you can have one skill that dumps mana, or on this character I had here that I died on, I think it should still be around. I just went with like big cooldown abilities only. This one, I think. So here I just had like the biggest cooldown abilities I could find, and I was just like looping these around. And I was just making sure my mana could survive it. And but like I said, there are plenty of different ways to play. I mean, PoE has a little bit of it, or it's trying to, like it's you have those gems that like stack up the spell, and when you press it, it like repeats multiple times, for example. But in the end, PoE, it's just very basic. Like it's Diablo 2. So I just think this game is a little bit ahead. The bank tabs in this game at least cost in-game money. It doesn't cost real money, because the game costs $30. Here's the build I want to make: Lightning Blast and Static Orb. After using Static Orb, the next Lightning Blast casts from any source chain 2 additional times, and you can stack that up 5 times. So you get the next 5 lightning blasts chains additional times, and then over here, for 4 seconds after using static orb, directly casting lightning blast and hitting at least one enemy will return 25% of static orbs in mana cost. So that way you can work these together a little bit. Yeah, I know. They are adding microtransactions though, but I think it's just going to be cosmetics. I still don't like that, but it's better than the way it is in PoE. But this game is still in beta. It's like it is a little bit on the mid side when it comes to like polish the story and so, but when it comes to actual build variety and depth, I don't think there's any competition from any other game. Right now I'm going to make a spell casting paladin. But first we have to level. Level up. Have I gone anywhere here? Went out. Ah, whatever. Let's just go out. One of my main issues with the story and stuff is that they're too keen on the references, right? Like you can tell like this is a Path of Exile map, for example, or this is a Path of Exile boss, or this is a Diablo 3 boss, you know. And I just don't I don't appreciate references. Like maybe a little bit, that you might find that kind of thing neat at some point, but it quickly gets stale. You can't just do everything is like a reference. But they did, with the last patch, they did improve it quite a lot. Hello, Zed. Yeah. The weekends don't feel long enough anymore for me. I mean, I played Diablo 2 for ages too, but I think Diablo 3 has, in some aspects, the best ARPG gameplay. And in some, it's absolute total garbage. I mean, right now, it's basically unplayable. They have ruined it so much. The only way to play Diablo 3 now is to self-impose rules for which items are allowed. Otherwise, the game is unplayable. Because you'll pick a difficulty level, and then you'll struggle on it, but it's still gonna be like nice. It's gonna be like a decent struggle level. And then you find one item, and this item is going to say, for example, increases the damage of Cyclone or Whirlwind by 500%, increases an additional 400% versus 3 enemies or less. And then you equip that, and then you literally just one-shot everything for the entire game after you find that. And you have to go and increase the difficulty level to be even able to play the game normally. Like, the game is an absolute disaster right now. Increased armor. just running past the enemies here. What do we want? More armor. Okay. Whoops. Give me the thing. My void resistance is way too crappy here. In fact, my physical is too. Let me fix that. We did get this. Has a little bit of void res. But not that much. This is health regen. It's only 3. I don't have any resistance stuff. Yeah, I mean, you can always refund it, I guess.
Stand down or die.
I'll still go back and try PoE when PoE 2 releases, but PoE 2 isn't going to be that different, so it's just not gonna be what I'm looking for. I honestly didn't have an issue with the UI in Diablo 3. That is not at all what I had any problems with. What do I want here? Strike 2, more damage. Okay, fine. No, I mean 4. What did I say? I meant a 4 as well. Melee damage. Can we get 247, 270? Okay, sure. I don't know, I thought the UI seemed fine. People kept comparing it to mobile games, but I didn't get that vibe at all, really. Oh, Mordenstein. You just got No Man's Sky? Nice. Finally. He's been waiting for that No Man's Sky for ages. At least you got past the first planet. I always played it on hardcore from the beginning, and the first planet was always like super hard. Like it took me like 10 tries to get past the start where you just die. Need to pick up some items. Otherwise we're gonna die. You have it on console? Probably fine. It's not. Oh, you can use Xbox Pass on PC. Never try that stuff. Don't have an Xbox. Neither do I. Yeah, fair enough. There are just not enough games for me that I want to play. Yeah, you can play a Seal Paladin. It's a lot. I mean, you can play a Seal Paladin in multiple different ways here. It's not quite the same, but multi-strike is Seal. I don't have it yet, so can't show it, but basically it works kind of like Frenzy. You attack, and then you get a stack, and next time you attack, you summon a sword that strikes a nearby enemy, and then next time you strike, you have another stack up to like 3 or 5 or something. And then you can choose how you want to spec it, right? In a lot of different ways. The way I played it was this, with Void Cleave. And what it does is Void Cleave has like a 4-second cooldown, so you have a bit of downtime with it. But if you play multi-strike, you get 15% more AoE, 15% more cleave damage per stack of armament from multi-strike that you have, and then they get used up. So you use multi-strike, and then you stack that up, and then you use Void Cleave, and it does double damage. And then you start stacking it up here again. But you don't have to do that. You can play multi-strike as your main ability as well. Like if you go down here, you get 15% more initial strike damage, so that's for killing bosses and stuff. But you can also play it defensively. Here you get more armors per stack. More block. So yeah, there's plenty of ways to play this. Lead over here. Here you summon spears instead. You like spears. I can't finish a character in this game without thinking of a new build that I want to do. Like, that's my problem here. That's why I like the game.
Stand down or die.
But it takes a while. You have to. It's a little bit like PoE as well. You have to figure out like which stats are actually good, and what do you need and when. But as a typical ARPG, you want your resistances first and foremost. I always play hardcore, so in the tree here, I always pick the nodes that give you resistance first, and armor and life and stuff. Melee damage, vitality, what should I get? Stun avoidance. Let's try getting this one. Increased cooldown, recovery speed on movement skills. Oh, we got multi-strike. I'm not gonna use it though. Well, I can equip it. This is what it looks like. You just attack, and then it starts summoning swords like that. But the difference between this and Zeal is that Zeal is just a bunch of bashes. Like, it's literally like just 5 barbarian bashes in a row, or normal auto attacks. Here you can make the swords summon on like the entire map almost. So you actually have some proper range on it. Don't kill me, dude. Oh no, I'm out of potions. And this is why you should have resistances, but I started playing online instead, because, yeah, I started playing online, and I don't have any stuff from other characters here, so I can't upgrade my gear right now. We have any void resistance yet? A little bit. Not much. Health regen, movement speed. Oh, physical resistance. Let's get that. 21% physical rest. Terrible. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go up first. Down... Well, we can see what they sell at the store. Sometimes it's worth buying things. From what I understand, when you're starting out, the best things to get on weapons is flat damage. Like, it might look impressive with like 100% increased melee damage, but if you have 23 flat melee damage and you get 100% more melee damage, then you get plus 23. But instead, you could have gotten like plus 40 flat damage. So that's what it seems like to me. Unless you have another source of flat damage is the best thing to get for melee weapons. Because you can get percentage increases from a lot of places. Like even in just this tree, for example, here you get increased damage 5%. If you become a paladin, you get 100% increased fire, lightning, and physical damage. Straight up. And yeah, but if you're playing a caster, it's really hard, or you literally cannot get flat spell damage as a roll on weapons. So there, you have to get increased spell damage or increased fire damage or whatever. But there are some trees where you get a lot of this kind of stuff. Here you get melee physical damage +1 per point. But if you're playing a wizard spellblade, for example, pretty much their entire tree is just bonus flat damage. And if you're doing that, then you can kind of get other things, percentage stuff. Anyway, let's go. But yeah, getting a lot of increase it's nice, but as PoE players might know, what you want to do is you want to have things that multiply together well. So if you have 1,000% increased damage and you get another 100%, that's just a 10% damage increase. Well, if you have that and you get like 30% crit, that's a 30% increase. And then if you get 30% increased attack speed on top of that, that multiplies together with both of those. And that's kind of how you wanna do it to get high values. It's the same in Genshin Impact, for example, where if you just stack increased damage, you do pretty shit damage, and there you want to start getting crit and crit damage to help multiply the damage that you already have. It's pretty typical. Don't kill me! Don't blast me! It's actually a little bit difficult when you don't have shitloads of shards to upgrade your gear. We actually have to look for things. I wonder if we can do... Maybe we should do a burning build. Or a damage over time build. Somehow. Well, we'll see. Well, not damage over time. Yeah, I played Genshin with Robert a while. And I think Genshin is nice, actually. I mean, I hate all the anime stuff. Like, I literally cannot stand that, to be honest. But it was still fun to work towards characters and new gear and whatever. But I had to quit because it was taking up all my time, and I can't deal with login shit. It makes me sick in the head. I can't not optimize it, so I'd rather just not do it. Right now we just stack more damage. Cyclone or Warpath is pretty much the optimal leveling skill as far as I can tell. I think Javelin is also good, but you get it pretty late. But if you just go in here and you just go two-handed and you just get the void stuff here, it just does crazy damage. Yeah, I absolutely hate dailies. It's why I stopped playing Lost Ark as well. Well, also the fact that you don't get to do anything in Lost Ark. Like it's literally not a game. You log in and do 20 minutes of shit and then you log out because there's nothing else to do. Did we kill all of them? Yep. Have more health there. Whoa! I hate these guys so much! They do a lot of damage. I love China. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you insult the man? What's his name? I love China because I watched 2 TV shows that I liked. The only good thing about modern China is that they do produce some TV shows that are just not woke. Like that's the only real thing that I appreciate about modern China. But otherwise, it's pretty much all shit. But even then, most of the Chinese TV shows are horrible. It's just a bunch of housewife stuff. Like it's. It's this prince falls in love with this beautiful princess kind of shit. And it's just horrendous. But then they also produce the Three Kingdoms shows, and I think those are like the best TV shows ever made. Just, yes, I'll help you, I'll help you. Please, don't loop the dialogue box. We get anything else? More health? Health is good. From what I read, it's good to build defensive in this game, especially if you want to grind the later levels. I mean, if you're playing hardcore, it's better to just play it super defensively, but... Let's see if this thing one-shots me here. Oh, don't! Oh, wow, 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 wow!
Stand down or die.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's most Asian TV. But then again, so it's honestly like what TV is here to or has been. So it's not really that surprising. Can we get more physical resistance? No. Still don't have any. We don't have any void stuff. Well, I guess we don't get anything. We have 65% void rest, but our physical is still terrible. But that's why whenever I start, I always, and I think that's the best way to do it, I always pick the passive node that gives you resistances. Because you can respec it later, and it's just so much easier to gear and survive after you get that. But like I said, I always play hardcore. Don't kill me. RPG without resistances? Well, this game has resistances, but if you want my take on that, then I don't think resistances is depth. I don't think the stats are depth. Like the only thing that stats add as a gameplay mechanic, well, I wouldn't really call it a gameplay mechanic. It's like you have gameplay, right? The gameplay mechanics is skills. It's how you press buttons. It's how you interact with the game. And then you have like content and context stuff. And the only thing that stats add to the game is it changes the item pool a little bit. And it makes it so that you have to look for like the stats that you want, but you also have to manage these stats. That's what it does. That's what it adds. Now you might also enjoy it from like a fluff point of view, but mechanically that's the only thing it does. It just makes it adds another layer of difficulty to getting the perfect item. That's its core function. But personally, I'm not a huge, like, I don't really care about stats and like passive stuff and background shit. I don't really find that interesting. So I think there could be, if you just had a more interesting approach to gear and weapons and stuff, you could just get rid of that entirely, because that's the core part that it does. Yeah, I mean, hunting gear is nice, but it depends a little bit. Now, other ways I've seen it in games is like in Tree of Savior. But that was an MMO, right? So it was the grind was on a different level. But the way it worked there was you could basically get like a legendary axe, but it didn't have stats, right? So then you upgraded it, and each it's a Korean MMO, right? So each upgrade, there's a chance of it breaking. So then you try to get it up as high as possible, and once you have that, then you try to add stats from another like rare item. And that was just grind, right? So you had to grind for a rare item, and then you had to grind for a legendary item, and then you had to upgrade your legendary item without breaking it, and then you had to extract the stats from the rare weapon, which was also a percentage chance. So you had to find like rare items, try to extract the stats from it, and then you could put it into your legendary. And then after that, the grind was getting another legendary and trying to get it higher than your previous legendary and making it better. And I think that loop actually kind of works to some degree, but it's a very long-term thing, and it's like it's only for like super grind geared people. But I did like that. You don't understand. It's way worse than you imagine. Because it was like a percentage chance success to be able to extract these stats from a piece of gear that you had been grinding. No, chance to break it's not necessarily bad. It depends on how easy it is to get the item, because it then means that you have to like keep grinding to get another piece and try on that one. But because you don't want to break your main weapon, right? So you always you get your weapon, and then you try to get another one, and then you try to make it better, and then it. I actually didn't mind it at all. Crafting in PoE is absolutely the only way to get really good items. Like, if you don't do it, you just can't. You can't even kill the bosses if you don't do it. But the crafting in PoE is so fucking convoluted because it's just RNG manipulation. Like, you have to see, like, okay, if I do this with the item and then I have this, like now I only have like a 1 prefix slot open, that means I have the highest chance possible of getting like this one roll that I need, maybe, and then you just gamble on that. And that means, like, there as well, if you, because it has the same thing that I just talked about. But there it's like, if you fail, the item is just bricked. So you just throw it away, pretty much. And then you grind and you find another rare that has the potential to become super OP. And then you try to slam it and get the correct, like, extra prefix that gives you, like, that big damage boost. I mean, I get you, to be honest. Here I think it's a lot easier. They still have that stat from PoE, but here you just press F and you open this and you can pop in items here. And you can upgrade them. The weapons have forging potential, and every time you add a suffix or a prefix to it, meaning the prefixes are where you have your damage boosts, the suffixes are secondary effects like chance to bleed or health on hit and stuff. And every time you add that, you have, see, it costs 1 to 18 forging potential, and I have 17 forging potential remaining. But you can also use this, which is a 25% chance for it to not cost anything. And that's kind of how it works. You use this system to upgrade your gear that you find to a useful state. And you can also use this Glyph of Chaos. If you upgrade melee fire damage using Glyph of Chaos, it changes it to another random stat. So that way you can, if you find a really good item, but it has one thing wrong, then you can try to re-roll it like three or four times and see if it becomes useful. But it might also lose all its potential in the process, and then it's just bricked, and you have to grind and find something new. So, and there are a bunch of other things you can do here late game too. But this system, it's actually super easy. But it's still a little bit tricky to really feel comfortable with for a lot of people. So it's still like RNG drops, but you have a little bit of control of upgrading your gear there. And I think it's nice. I think it's better than it is in PoE at least. PoE system is just way too random. We gotta be careful here, because there are some nasty dudes here that do a lot of physical damage, and we don't have resistances. See, they are killing me. Can't I get up there? There was a stairway, but I couldn't lunge at them. You see, some places in this game have the same problems that Diablo 4 does, where the entire area is just, okay, this is dark. Okay, I can't see anything. Right. This is bad. I don't have enough health regen or health gain or whatever. Health on hit would be nice. Can we get health on hit? Health on kill. That's not quite right. This only gives cold rest. Can we get something better? Let's see. We need physical resistance. Still don't have that. Best we can get is armor. Get more health per second. I survived! Give me the thing. Then we're out of here. Oh, I don't have any more coffee. More damage. We do have okay lightning rest. I think we'll be fine on the boss.
Farewell. Yes.
The bosses in story mode are pretty shite. There's no other way to put it. They have like 2 attacks that they use over and over again. It's really hard to think of a name, dude. Robin was taken. Ah, whoa, 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 holy shit! That's why you need resistances. Because otherwise you fucking die. Health regen, void, press. Yeah, I saw a pretty good username on a Diablo 4 stream. I'm not dying. I'm a pro. Well, I might die because I can't choose what items I get, so. But this is health regen. Health regen is good. Armor. Too low level. No more physical rests. No more rests. No health regen. And I can't get shit! So here we have physical and poison, and I have 21% physical and 0% poison res. I have to look for items. Lightning res, that's not what we want. Cold res, void res. Whoa, shit! Did crazy damage. I mean, nah. Cold res, void res, armor, health per second. What do we get here? Damage, stun avoidance. Just more health and regen. Whoa! 19% physical resistance. Can I get poison resistance on it? We can. Alright, 14% poison resistance. Still 0% necrotic. Since I can't get items easily, since I don't have shards since before anymore, I am taking it a little bit slow and leveling a bit too much. I still feel like it's kind of... Oh no, I don't want to fight you. It might be okay, I guess. Cyclone is a really good skill in general. Whirlwind, whatever you want to call it. Warpath. Because it moves. And because it moves, you can keep moving through enemies. And that means that they just miss. Because their wind-ups are too slow. So it's a really good defensive ability because of that. More regularly. We are indeed spinning to win. Can we get a new belt? I think I still have the first belt. Reguline. Most classes can't dual wield. Baseline, but most classes can get the dual wield from some place in the trees. Like here, I can get dual wield here. Equip swords in offhand, but you can only dual wield swords as a sentinel. Apparently. But I don't know how the damage works for dual wielding. And I usually try to avoid dual wielding on hardcore because it makes you take more damage. Kill me. Yeah, it's only like 9%, but you do take more damage. So, but you can always take the node later, right? You don't need to take it instantly. You can just level with a shield or something, or a two-handed weapon. Then you can take it later when you have some armor and you've maxed out your resistances. Should be fine, but taking more damage is generally not something you want to do on hardcore. Respecking is mostly fine, but you have to pick a specialization, and that is you can't respec that. So if you pick a paladin, you get access to Holy Aura here, and you get access to the whole paladin tree. And you see here, you unlock these abilities with points in the paladin tree. So if you don't pick paladin, you can't get judgment. But otherwise, you just go and spend some gold, and it lets you respec a point. And the skills are free to respec. The only thing that happens is if I despecialize Warpath here, I have to put another skill in there, and it just starts at a lower level. The higher your level, the higher the minimum level a skill starts at. So it might start at like level 10 later, so it's not that bad to level it back up again, but you still have to level it back up again. And you can remove points in skills as well, and that just reduces it a level, and then you just have to level up the skill again to get points. But also here in the passive tree, you can, even if you pick Paladin, you can still take points in Void Knight here, for example. So I've been taking these, the nodes that give you resistances. I've been taking those from those trees just to stack up resistances from the tree as much as possible. Because it just makes it a lot easier to get other things on items. Like, resistances are secondary, or they're suffixes. But so is health regen, and so is armor, so if you want to have more armor, then you need to get resistances from somewhere, and same thing with health regen, so that's why I try to get those things from the tree primarily. Yo, new skill specialization. What do we get? I think we will get Rebuke. And we'll put health regen on it. And we put it there, then we have a defensive ability we can press. Rebuke is actually pretty good, because you take almost no damage, and when you're just fighting normal enemies, if there's too many things going on, you can just hold it, and then the enemies will hit it, and then when it explodes, it does damage based on how much damage it took. Then it just kills everybody. But it's a little bit tricky to use on bosses. First of all, you have to guess if you would survive their slam attack by using it, so... And you might mistime it and then you just die. But it's still nice. I usually try to have a movement ability and a defensive ability. What do we want? More health. More health. I actually want Smite. Smite is going to be my teleport. You can make Smite teleport you. But I don't really want to spec into that until later. I usually make the mistake of trying to play my build too early, instead of just using abilities that are good. And it just becomes a slog. physical resistance. 35% physical resistance. Doesn't look like we can get much. I shall now go roll my first character. Good luck, dude. Have fun. Now we're not doing physical damage. We're doing void damage.
Yes.
By the shattering thingies. I'm not sure I want to sell that. I mean, it's like, do I want 3 health regen or do I want resistances? I think the answer is resistances, to be honest. What you can do is you can break here to get the shards based on the affixes it has, but
Follow your feet.
early on you're so short on those items that you need to break them that it's kind of not worth it. Because when you're low level, the items have lower tier affixes, which also means you get less shards from it. So it's kind of better to just keep grinding and saving them. Same thing with those other glyphs that give you a 25% chance of not losing any potential. It's not worth wasting them. It's better to just save them until later, because you're just going to be replacing this gear anyway. On these maps, I think there's a secret, but I'm not sure. I don't know if it's on this map. Like this. I don't know if this is just a thing, just for to look nice, or if it is actually a secret. Because there's a hidden area on one of these maps where you can't do anything. And it might just not be implemented. But I'm also thinking it might be a secret based on these. Like if you activate all of them and then go to the secret area, then something happens. I have not been arsed to try. The game still runs so poorly, dude. Still no new weapon tier. Oh! Double resistance amulet. I'm interested in seeing if there are like any caster oriented armors for Sentinel later. Or if I just go like full armor. We're going to be a fire build. Right now we are just maxing void damage on Warpath because it does the most damage. We're actually only four levels away. Whoa, shit! Cyclone is a little bit weird. It kind of pushes the bosses around sometimes. Also, this is bugged. Some of these are landing in the sky. I can't see where they are landing, dude. It was not the screenshot button. Oh! I have no idea if they could even hit me or not. Increased mana regen. Maybe we'll try going that path. I don't know, maybe you can use Rebuke as a way to just regain mana. Because we're gonna have pretty heavy mana expenditure, I think. Yeah, here we get more physical. Physical resistance is the most important one. And void second, because there's just so much shit that does void. And that's pretty much the first thing you run into as well. Oh! Oh, more poison resistance. We got more idle slots. we can get more physical resistance. No more damage. No health regen. Too low level. Let's see if we can get something other than health. Physical resistance. Perfect. What about here? Cold resistance. What about... Nope. We don't have shards for cooldown reduction. Alright. Now we're pretty good. 71% physical. Oh yes, the dragon has no chance, dude. Ruined world. Find the Temple of Atera. Why is it showing me the cultist camp? We need to go over there. I think when you're playing online, they fixed the... When you go into those rifts to the past, offline, you get this really long animation that takes like 10 seconds of you traveling there. But online, I think they skip it. Kind of nice. What specifically do you like that this game does that other RPGs don't or do worse? We already talked about that a lot, but I can talk about it again. What I like about it is that it has very good build variety. Like, that's what's nice about it. And it also has Diablo 3 style gameplay, more or less. Where you can have certain abilities that are utility abilities. You can have like temporary buffs with cooldowns, but you also don't have to play that way. That is about to lose his mind. Just go with the ruts, dude. It's fine. You'll figure it out eventually. But there's so many things you can do and different ways to combine abilities and different ways to do things. Like, no, it's not your fault. I don't mind. Like, if you want to play Smite, Smite is really boring in general. It just shoots a laser beam on somebody's head. But if you go down here, now Smite is a teleport. So now you have a teleport. And then you can make it do whatever you want. Like, over here you get a bigger heal area, which is not very useful single player. But if you go up here, being healed by Smite grants you and your allies increased health and mana regeneration. That way you can go up there and you'll give yourself mana regen and health regen every single time you teleport, which is pretty nice. Have you played Diablo 4? I have not. I will not either. Up here you can make Smite be able to cast if you have 0 mana, which can be useful because you can have other abilities like Multi-Strike over here. Multi-Strike summons swords based on your stacks of Multi-Strike. which builds every time you attack. And then you can replace the swords with smite, and that way it casts smite plus all of your specs into smite every time. But it also costs the mana, and therefore it can be nice to do this. But you can also actually spec into things that make it cost a little bit of mana, because you can make multi-strike gain mana when you attack. Wanted to know how it compares to last Epoch? Well, it's really hard to tell, because Diablo 4 is early. Like, it's just early game Diablo 4. And I don't think that's really... You can't really tell. But judging from the streams, Diablo 4 looks fine, but it looks kind of boring too. A little bit. Completely rewrote the parser and renderer in Python. It took 12 seconds to generate a file with 4 pages. After optimizing, it took 3, but that's still too slow. Yeah. That's pretty slow. Time to switch to Rust. I did watch the beta. I mean, I'm not buying Blizzard games anymore because Blizzard is terrible. So I will not buy it, especially not for $70, which is absolutely a ridiculous price. And Blizzard has not fucked up a game. Like, they have not fucked up a game since I don't even know when. So I'm just waiting for it to show. I'm not buying it. Like, Diablo 3 is completely unplayable. It's a piece of shit right now. But the art and like the overall feel of the game seems really solid. I think like this game is visually the only thing that this game has over Diablo 4 visually is that this game has more visual clarity, which is not the case on this map. Like, every single map that has void themes looks like Diablo 4, where you can't see anything. But otherwise, usually the maps are pretty clear. Stop spawning monsters, I want to look at the items. But otherwise, there's no way Diablo 4 is going to be able to compete with this game when it comes to build variety. Like, this game's builds are just on a completely different level than any other ARPG. There's so much you can do and so many different ways you can play every single class and every single spec. It's not even remotely close. The itemization in Diablo 4 doesn't really look super interesting either. And I'm really worried about all the MMO stuff that they've added. So I don't know. But we'll have to see how it pans out. I mean, I think this game is good. It's still in beta, so it still has a lot of time to improve. But it has a very small team. I think it's like literally 2 dudes making this. But I don't know if that's true. I don't think it can be true. Because I've known other streamers that have worked on it too, so they've gotta have a bigger team than 2. But this game is basically... It feels more like a cross between Diablo 3 and Path of Exile. They took the best of both games, more or less. Yeah, I know, that's how it goes. At least this game is only $30. It's not 70. I mean, the average gamer doesn't care about, you know, what companies do. I know what goes on at Blizzard and what kind of company it is, and therefore I will not support them. But the average gamer does not give a shit. What do I mean? About what? What's going on at Blizzard? Oh, lag! What kind of company? They're like the biggest SJW company in the world. By far, and it's not even close. Like, they've replaced every single painting in like if you missed all the sexual misconduct stuff from Blizzard that's been coming out, then yeah, you've missed a lot. But also Blizzard is like a hollowed out company. It's basically just run by the HR department pretty much. And like they've changed. If you play WoW Classic, you can no longer choose a male or female character. You choose a body type, for example, and they've deleted tons of characters and stuff from the game because it was people whose politics they didn't agree with that had characters that were in the game, like NPCs. Gone. They removed every single joke that had like any, like was at all, you know, not PC. They replaced every single painting in the game that had any kind of dick joke in it. Like, they've completely sanitized it just to appeal to that market, or to hide their misconducts. But even more so, if you look at like who works at their company, it's just a bunch of SJW they thems. And I will not support this company. Plus, again, they have been fucking up everything that they release, so like every company, that is true. Corporations are basically forced into it, so you can't avoid it. That's why I'd rather support indies in general. Like, if you're a big corporation in certain countries, you literally have to have like genderbread person seminars and shit like that. So don't be surprised when every single company is woke as shit. Canada, for example. So yeah, no Diablo 4 for me. But I don't know, I don't really care. I don't know. People are like upset about all this woke shit, but people can't even avoid watching Marvel movies at the cinema or buying all the video games, so. Posting as SJWs? Well, no. They are sex offenders because they are SJWs. Whoa, shit! Don't kill me. Oh yeah, this place is dangerous. Let's just go over here and then we wait for them to arrive. And then we walk them to death. Coffee Stain? I've never heard of it. But if it's a Swedish company, you can be sure it's terrible. But it's not like you can keep track of every single company either. I mean, all you need to know from Sweden is Paradox, which is also terrible. Paradox is terrible both politically and quality-wise. What the fuck? Don't dare block me. Come over here. Don't blast me. I have died here before. Hello, Tater Todd. How's the end game? I don't know. Honestly, I spend most of my time leveling, but once you get to the end game, it's pretty much PoE. You know, you get this map where you can progress through and go to different places and kill a bunch of different bosses. So, I don't know. Endgame seems fine, but I wouldn't expect that much from it content-wise because it's still in beta. So it's... I think it's still decent, but you have to expect that it's not gonna be as rich in content as PoE or something. But there's definitely more to do than in Diablo 3, for example. So Wolfenstein people are Swedish? Maybe. Yeah, I think so. And that's woke as shit. Well, I don't know. Was Wolfenstein not id? Maybe that was a different company. For publishers? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I think this game is good. It's $30. I would recommend it. It is Bethesda now. Yeah. Help or mana regen? That means we might just need to get a little bit of flat mana regen, but there's like almost no sources of that, so we might not be able to get that. Oh man, I went the wrong way. I know, dude. It's annoying. More vitality. This is the right way. But it doesn't really matter that much. You can just not use it. But you never know when it's gonna turn, right? Like once Unity might become super woke all of a sudden, because that's kind of how it works. Is anything procedural? Not when you're leveling. There's very little procedural stuff then. It's pretty much all set. But once you get to endgame mapping, I think it's... I mean, I don't know. It might be more there. But then you kind of just go into maps and kill monsters then, so it doesn't really matter that much. But these normal maps are mostly set. But again, it's beta, so that might change. It's a lot easier to just make set maps in the beginning. I haven't really checked on like the roadmap or anything like that. I've just been making fun builds. Yeah, it doesn't have a health bar. Oh. There's a weird bug. How do I trigger it? There. Interesting. If I use Rive here and I immediately cancel it into Cyclone, Then it just cyclones forever without me pressing the button. And if you try to cancel it by pressing Cyclone, it just casts Cyclone again and keeps spinning. Alright, dude. Beta. Fortunately, it didn't keep doing damage. More mana regen. But we're right before we get our skill or our sub-spec voice now. Just need to get through this long ass dungeon and not die to the end boss. Less channel costs. We're only using it temporarily, so... Yeah, no, just using that is probably the best way to get mana now. Since I don't have any mana on hit. That's not how we're gonna play. But I might not need that later either. My main ability later is going to be Judgment, and up here you can get increased mana regen from there as well. But it's only 50%, so maybe it's not that impressive. Maybe I don't even want to go there. Because that would make it cost 20% of my mana. Alright. Maybe we don't want to go there. Holy Eruption. So we're going here. Bigger AoE, armor shred, mana efficiency, cooldown reduction, damage, make it pull enemies. Have no hit thing. More Holy Eruption damage. Duration. Nah. Well, we'll see how it goes. We're doing a spell judgment build. As a paladin. Oh, we're maxed out. We get no more points in that tree. Wait, can I start taking points in Paladin already? Or... I haven't tried that. No. Alright. Makes sense. Just make a video game instead. It seems a lot easier than making a PDF viewer. The mental damage. Yeah, nope. Wonder if this new weapon here is better. 440, 444, 348. Nah. Not really. The crit is not really good until later. Poison, cold, fire S. Alright, dude. Good luck. That. There's no resistance there. We can get a little bit of lightning. Void resistance, nice. That's actually what I was missing. Then now we have maxed void, almost maxed physical. Viper tail, chance to poison on hit, chance to slow on hit, increased melee attack speed. Summon a primal serpent on kill with serpent strike, meaning it's a primalist item. The damage feels really dog shit though. Trash, trash, trash. I'm going a bit slowly so that we have a chance to drop some items. Because I can't craft anything right now. Yeah, it's so much nicer. You don't have to see the stupid animation. It's still a bit weird as it jumps between, but not having the animation is so much nicer. Okay, he shoots backwards. But that's just because it was so weird. It was just badly done. If the animation didn't take literally 10 seconds while you were just standing there taking hits, it would be fine. Double rest belt. Once we unlock Paladin, we'll just take the resistance nodes from all the classes, I think, right away. Acolyte body armor. Void resistance, necrotic resistance. I think if we got percentage increased void on a two-hander, that would be really strong, but it ain't giving me nothing. I literally still have a tier 1 axe that we've had since basically the beginning of the game. Full res helmet. 14 melee void club, but the club is also low tier, I think. Plus melee damage two-handed with melee void damage. Maybe this could be an improvement. But we don't have... All we have is melee void damage there. And then we just have to put something else there. Flat physical damage. Increased physical damage. Melee lightning damage. This should be better now. 389. 380. Fuck off! It's because this one has physical damage, I think. Even so, it's very strange. Oh well. Yeah, it's because Warpath is... It's converting physical to void, and here we get increased global void damage. So it does even more damage based on physical than it says. It's like now if I hover over, we get bonus damage there. That goes away. And 100% mana regen. But 100% bonus mono region, it's not really that much, but maybe it's enough. We will see. I think attunement gives... It grants max mana. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, stop! Stop spinning!
Stand down or die.
I think so far mono region is the hardest thing to stack. Really weird. And then we teleport back.
Yes.
I mean, I guess it depends a little bit. If this one can get something good, melee fire damage, then this might have potential. Yes, that's better. Now, is there anything very specific here that we want to break? Rive bonus. Spell lightning damage. And lightning damage leached as health. Movement speed. Vengeance. You can get some resistance thingies. Just so we have a little bit to upgrade with. There.
Yes. Follow your feet.
And then we go back to the Lotus Halls. And we're almost at the last boss. We could get Void Cleave now. Just to have it. I think it still does probably good damage without anything. You have to have an axe or a sword to use it. It seems to be do good damage. Oh, lag!
Stand down or die.
Percent increased melee, increased physical. I mean, might be good. Who knows? But then I can't use Void Cleave. Yeah, I do think Void Cleave is kind of OP. Could play a Void Cleave Paladin. You can turn it into fire damage. But I don't think I want to make any more Paladins for a while. Oh, shit. 21% increased melee, 57% increased physical. 433. 417. Well, it's almost. My damage is shit. Drive increased damage. And we can't spend our points. We have 3 unspent points. Boss time. I didn't even see that he dropped the thing. Oh, come on. And he's dead. And he gave me trash. Trash. Nice. Come on.
You see, Militia, this is what went whatever. But he might be kind enough to show you how to tap into your true potential.
But it's gonna be a couple of levels, maybe like 20 or something, before we can start switching over to spells. We basically need Judgment, so that's 30 levels. But we will see. Paladin. You deal increased fire, lightning, and physical damage equal to your % health remaining. Which I assume means 100% increase. 3% increased armor for each hit you have taken in the last 10 seconds. 75% increased melee void damage. I think they should change this to just void damage. The fact that it's melee is kind of stupid. Maybe there's a reason for it. Because you can play Void Knight without melee. So why not just set this as void damage? It's way too specialized. And a lot of the classes have that issue. Like this one, this is just resistance, which is good. This, you just deal more damage, fire, lightning, and physical. That's also a good passive. But this, why does it have to be melee? Their abilities aren't even all melee. They're literally spell. So why would you do this? It's weird. We're becoming a paladin? Skill unlocked. Holy Aura. I don't know if I want to use Holy Aura. For now, I kind of think I prefer Cleave. Anyway, Paladin. Elemental Resistance. The first skill is Healing Hand, and Healing Hand, it doesn't feel, it's not implemented yet. Like, it doesn't have a skill tree. It just kind of heals. It's kind of weird. Now here it says, whenever you hit an enemy with a melee attack, you have a 20% chance to cast a Divine Bolt. I would like this, but I don't think we'll be doing any melee. Because Judgment is going to not have a melee component. So it's like barely gonna do anything. It's not very cool anyway, so I don't really care. But we'll get this node, it just gives penetration and all kinds of damage. We'll max this one out. Then it's a little bit tricky. You can put 1 point in here. If you put 1 point in here, you get 2% block chance. If you put 1 point in here, then you have 5% block chance. And you can put 1 point in here, then you have 7% block chance. It's kind of irrelevant, because you will have 0% block effectiveness. So all it'll do is maybe cast a heal on you if you have that on block, so probably not worth it. This kind of sucks. I might not take that. Melee, 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 melee. Yeah, we'll not go into Forge. Void Knight has resistances. Increased physical, increased void damage. Melee damage, void damage, leech. Yeah, we'll stay in Paladin for the most of the time. We'll take that though. And that. But this is super weird design. It doesn't make any sense. If you have been hit recently, you have higher physical resistance and increased armor. That is a completely wasted function. Because you're always capped. So why would you have that? It makes no sense. Because there's no point in overcapping either. So the only thing you'll get from that is a little bit of armor. And that's why some of these are super weird. Like, this is fine. 35% physical and fire resistance. This is good. But if you're playing a Primalist and you pick the Shaman is designed around totems. And what it has is like, if you have a totem, you get plus 50% like fire and lightning resistance or something while the totem is out. But you can't play around that. Because itemization wise, you would have to like drop lightning and fire resistance to like 25%. And then what happens if your totem dies, or you just didn't have time to cast your totem, or you didn't notice that the totem disappeared or whatever, and then you get hit by fire damage endgame. You're just dead. Like, it makes no sense. And the same here, Sigils of Hope. You go in here, you get plus 75 fire and void resistance, but you can only have one sigil. I'm going to go in here, but this is also completely useless. Like, okay. So sigils last 15 seconds, but here I'm going to consume them to cast Divine Flare, and that means if I don't have this maxed anyway, then it's just going to keep going up and down, up and down, up and down. Though what you can do there, you can actually kind of play with that one, because Sigils of Hope lasts for 15 seconds, so if you just want this, you can keep this up permanently pretty easily.
So that one is actually doable. Plus you can get more duration here. Double regen. And then you just have to keep it up at all times. Then it is viable. More or less. So now we have increased physical damage. 389. But that still sucks. 452. No, it still sucks. Damage. Can we increase our physical resistance somewhere? Not there. Because I wanted to take my belt off and equip that, but this one has necrotic resistance, which I need more. Especially now. We actually need to get necrotic now. Let's see if we have any luck. Nope. Trash. Alright, I guess we're using this one. We got 13% necrotic. Sweet. Unfortunately, I think right now is the necrotic area. And it is really bad. Maybe we can buy something.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes?
I might unironically have to grind for it.
What do you want?
But if we... So these are still good. Like, they have elemental resistance. That's why I use these. We don't really get any leech or anything from it, but it gives you 13% elemental resistance, which is 36% total resistances, which is pretty good.
Yes. Yes? I see.
The fuck?
Stay safe.
I talked to the forge. Go fuck yourself. It even made the noise. There.
Yes.
All right. Let's see how we manage here. But it's not good. I think here at first it's just physical. But if I see one of those big fat lizards, then I'm not approaching it at all. Oh yeah, I think these are doing. Holy shit. Oh boy. This is no good. See that stab they do? I know it's dangerous. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go back to the temple. Let's re-grind the temple and look for necrotic resistance items. What the fuck? Where did you put me? Lotus Halls, because it's just not gonna go well.
Stand down or die.
I don't think any of the classes give necrotic resistance either. But even so, as long as we get some necrotic res items, getting more elemental resistance from one of the classes just makes it easier to equip. Gather a big group of monsters and then block them to death. It's actually viable. Lightning res, armor. Trash, 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 trash. Necrotic res. But just one isn't good enough, because we need to get necrotic res. Shards too, which we don't have. We have 19 necrotic res now. We'd like to have it at least 50 or something. Those aren't really that interesting, but they look neat when they drop. What you can do with those is if you have a sword that has like a tier 4 melee physical flat damage roll on it, if you upgrade it with this, it has a chance of taking it and putting it in a third slot that you can't access anymore. So that way you can have 3 prefixes. So that's like the true end game grind, to try to do that with an item. You can have like attack speed or something on it and try to get it to have more rolls. You can also try to get, I think you can get tier 6 as well. If you find an item that has that already has a tier 5 roll, as you upgrade the second prefix, it has a chance of upgrading the other prefix. So that way you can get a tier 6 prefix if you're lucky. So what you need to do is you need to work on getting that tier 6 prefix plus sealing a prefix, so you have 3 prefixes, and then managing to get another prefix up to 5. The suffixes are extremely secondary, I would say. Oh, come on. Don't get stuck on things. That's a Diablo 3 bug. I think they're using predictive networking. And it tends to get stuck on corners. So if you walk around corners too much, or you try to walk around an enemy, it has a tendency to get stuck. Gold! Void res. Oh, come on. No. Bonus heal. What should I take more? I do prefer the duration there. We could just make it do fire damage. That way it's actually doing damage too. And this is fire damage, that's what we mean to do. Healing hands. That we're not gonna use because it's terrible. They just put it there so that there are a couple of healing abilities for multiplayer, which is funny because it was in way before there even was multiplayer. Necrotic resistance. Oh, big guy. Lunge bonus skill. What is it I am getting here? It's elemental resistance. Right. Necrotic Res ring. Oh, this ring is really good, actually. We should be able to get ready now. The uniques seem really shitty in this game for the most part. I think it's kind of okay for some of them though, like they are just made to facilitate certain builds more or less, but... most of the more generic ones just seem completely useless. There are like some, like a weapon or two that are useful, but only for leveling that I've seen.
Stand down.
Not sure how I feel about leveling uniques. Just don't really think it should work that way overall. But then again, I don't really like this classic way of leveling up a character either. But I don't really know what else you would do. In general, I'm not a huge fan of typical progression stuff, but at the same time, it's like the only thing making the game playable. If you didn't have levels, you wouldn't have anything to do. More or less. There's gotta be some way to design it. Now let's see, what can we do? Where is all the necrotic resistance stuff we found? Necrotic resistance. That's good. Trash. Maybe okay armor. Necrotic resistance helmet. We didn't really find that much. Necrotic shield. Necrotic shield goes bye-bye. Now we don't have any resistances on our helmet, so that might be viable. Well, necrotic. And here we have physical and cold. This ring is good. Poison necrotic res. Wait, what just happened? Oh, I was deciding between these two. Yeah. I think I'll maybe break this, but it is pretty good. And this one still has potential. Maybe we'll do that. Put that on. 37% necrotic. It's not good, but we can work with that, I think. Now we're missing physical resistance again. Fire res. Hell. Crash. Well, that was everything we found. I have to remember this too. We do have a Rune of Discovery, which adds tier 1 affixes to everything. So if I find a good base, then I can use that, but a good base is still kind of rare.
Yes.
All right, let's sell some shit. I mean, this belt is pretty nice, but whatever. I'll be right back. Our curse Rusty is not going very well, I assume. Plus 15 health regen. This set is kind of neat. I still think it kind of sucks, but at least this gives you a lot of void res. But having to sacrifice 3 pieces to get the set bonus, it's just... Sets are just too hard to balance. You can't let go of your old programming habits. I can understand that. I do have a burning hatred of learning new things, so I can totally respect that. Yeah. I get you. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I don't know what a mutable global variable is. Constant? Okay. Why is it mutable? What? I don't even know what that means. Does that mean changeable? Stop.
Mutable means you set it after first init. What does immutable mean then? Right. Hmm. Not a variable to me if it's not a variable. Yeah, I mean, it does sound kind of weird. I need my tummy to stop hurting. Oh. I can program again. That's kind of how I program anyway, to be honest.
Stand down or die.
When I was using I was following the Minecraft tutorial, he put a bunch of variables in its own static class. And that's, well, I did feel like that was nice. It's something that I never do really. Holy crap, that was almost instant death. It didn't do as much damage as I thought. Maybe I should write a calculator in Rust. No one should. More attack speed? Yeah, okay, we won't go into Void Knight until we get Judgment. Then we can dip into Void Knight. Why? Stop spawning me over here. What the fuck? There's so many things broken in online play that isn't in offline play. How can it vary that much? Whoa! Okay. Okay, why not? Why not spawn him right there? Waypoints not being safe is a big issue in this game. I don't like it at all. I don't think it's a feature. I think it's not. Could be wrong though. I am brining chicken and I want to eat my chicken. But I'm not gonna eat for another like 4 hours. Terrible. It keeps teleporting you into really weird places. Maybe I should relog or something. Oh, where the fuck is it? Where am I? Yeah, I don't understand how those things can be that different in multiplayer versus offline. Like, it just simple things like clicking on the minimap or clicking on the map and picking a quest would normally center the map. How can that feature be broken online while it's not offline? Like, and is it just like completely different builds of the game? I don't know, it's weird. Erotic rest gloves, yes. Open the door. I do like Void Cleave. It's a nice take on a cleave. In Diablo 3, the cleave ability is just a weak builder, and it's just terrible. And in PoE, the cleave is just... like, it doesn't feel like it makes sense to use it as a main ability, because it's just so weird and clunky and ugly. The fact that you just have it as a cooldown here that just does big damage, it just feels a lot better. Oh, 30% necrotic res armor without a second thing. That means we can put physical res on it. And we are set. Now we have good resistances across the board. We can even get rid of some void there, I see. Some teenagers are driving past with their car, and the music that they're playing is louder into my apartment than the music I am playing inside my apartment.
What do you want?
Free passive point. Thank you. Now we want to go there, but I kind of want to log in and out. Maybe we call it soon. I need to go to the store anyway. Now it works again. Alright, we have to go down here and find the commander guy. Don't know if spreading flames does any damage now, though. I don't think so. We'd have to have increased fire damage for that. And well, I don't know. I don't know if conditions scale with damage, like flat spell damage.
Yes? Gods be with you.
Oh, there, big guy. Fire resistance is fine. You can take him. Using Void Cleave was probably a DPS loss there. It seems kind of shit against bosses. But that's because I have... with specialized drive. If you don't have proper necrotic resistance, the second you have to fight those big white lizard skeletons, they will just insta kill you. Their breath is basically unavoidable. Because if you stun them, they like insta turn and then they start breathing, and then you just take all the damage instantly, almost. And it does so much damage. It'll just kill you. That's the main reason I went back and grinded for more resistance, and it was worth it. Even just left clicking bugs it out. That has to be known. I don't know if it's an online bug. I mean, the builds seem to be so different that there might be bugs like that that are online only. It's kind of weird. Oh boy. Corrupted lake. Every single time I get here, I get kind of tired. I think, yeah, we're done. I'll finish this and then I'm gonna just, I don't know, chill for the rest of the day. Stop. Stop. My void res is maxed. We're fine. It's all good. Ooh, ooh. We are lacking idols. Big time. Bonk. I think Rive does more damage somehow. Yeah, Void Cleave isn't worth using. I think this guy doesn't do anything. You kind of just stand there and bash him in the head. All he does is summon monsters. I think you're supposed to take damage standing in the things he puts on the ground, but pretty much never puts it on you. I don't think it matters. Eh. Now what? Do we take the damage? We kind of have to take the damage. The only thing else is just health there. Sure, I'll take some damage. But yeah. We'll stop there. I'm gonna go and maybe, I don't know, sit around and chill. I honestly don't know what I'll do. I don't feel like sitting here anymore, so. Until next time. Bye bye.